So, welcome to Beauty Queen spoilers. This is going to be a big one, I guess.
So what can we say about Beauty Queen?
Are you okay? Are you going to survive the rest of this?
I love this book. I love everything about this book. I love how ridiculous this book is. I love how funny this book is.
It's worked its way up to one of my all-time favorite teen books. It is so good and so funny, and there's just so much in it that it's perfect. It's wonderful. It should be studied in school. It is that good. It's so sarcastic and clever. Alright, why is it so sarcastic and clever? Well, the author puts in footnotes.
Oh yeah, the footnotes are kind of fantastic.
Basically, what she does is she takes bases her reality in this book off of things we know. So she has reality TV shows that kind of maybe sound a bit like our reality TV shows, but they're amped up to the nth degree, basically. Mm-hmm. So she has Captain Bodacious 4, where you have pirates, schoolboys who become pirates and sail the ocean and, dock in different ports and have conquests. And then she has some kind of version of James Bond and different celebrities that, you should know because they have clothing lines or perfume lines.
I personally love the boy band and the boy band songs. I'm going to try and find them. So you keep going, but I'm going to try and find some of these songs.
Yeah, so she rips on things like that you can kind of see like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. A whole bunch of stuff just makes its way in there. She tells you this in little footnotes at the bottom of the book when they're mentioned. And then some of the footnotes actually come up again in the book as like actual people who walk in or out. And she sets you up so beautifully. You feel like you know this world. And she has a company, which is like the company. It's like Walmart and Coca-Cola and Disney and a whole bunch of other giant corporations and conglomerations all rolls into one. And it's called The Corporation. And it is the bad guy in this novel. And she sets it up so well. Did you find it?
Can't find it, still looking.
Alright. So she just creates this world, and by creating this world, she can let herself be as sarcastic and, well, okay, she doesn't, how would I say it? By creating these references, they are sarcastic, but she doesn't seem like she's being sarcastic. It's only when you compare it with our world.
I guess the thing about this book is that there are so many layers to what's going on, and that the layers interact with each other in different ways. So it's to them it's not sarcastic, but it is sarcastic, and to us it's sarcastic. It's all about...
There's just so many levels that just interact with each other and just make it what it is.
And it's so weird to read because when you're first reading it, you're like, oh, it's just a very light, fluffy story. And then you start thinking about it.
And you get some really dark undertones, and then you're going, oh my god, some of these people actually probably exist.
Oh, okay, I found them. Found the songs. Okay. Songs like, let me shave your legs tonight, girl. I only want to be with you. I just need to be yours, you. I gave up my hobby so I could spend more time with you. I love you like a stalker. Or, safe tween crush. Those are all songs.
Are the lyrics in there?
Yeah, okay. So, these are the lyrics for Safe Tween Crush. Wanna rock you girl with a butterfly tunic. No, I'm not gay, I'm just an emo eunuch. Gonna smile real shy, won't cop a feel. Cause I'm your virgin crush, you super safe deal. Let those other guys keep on sexting. You and me will be texting about unicorns and rainbows and our perfect love. Girl, we fit together like a hand in a glove. Now I don't mean that nasty, tell your mom don't get mad. I even wrote you're awesome on your maxi pads.
Yeah. So that's the kind of humor you get throughout this book, and it is just absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so maybe we should start from the beginning.
Alright, so when I started reading this book, I made the wonderful mistake of starting it on a plane. And 2 pages in, I mean, seriously, on the back of the book, there's the plane crashes. And yeah. That was fun. So the story basically is about this plane of 50 beauty queens.
Who however number.
There were one for each state.
I don't know.
And they're on the 51 states.
Really?
I think. I'm Canadian. So the plane crashes and a whole bunch of people die, including all the handlers, and we're left with the girls who survive.
And as last count, I think there was 14 girls.
14 girls.
We could be wrong, but anyways.
And so they're on this island, and they're having this hard time because, you know, there's only the one girl on the island, Adina.
Yes.
Adina. She's pretty much given to you as the protagonist of the novel, where she's in this contest to kind of debunk it and show how ridiculous it is. And now she's stuck on this island with these stereotypical teen girls, and she's pretty much losing it. And so the story follows, I guess, as you get to know more about the girls, and, you know, it breaks down those stereotypes and all that fun stuff. And
and eventually Adina isn't the protagonist anymore, and you kind of get more of a broad view of everyone. There's some really good, fun characters. There's Petra, who is actually one of the boy band.
Message for you, son.
You're a jerk. Message. Anyways, Petra is one of the boy band people
that they were
singers.
all in love with from
their childhood, but she actually decided to have a sex change, and so she's entering this competition to show that, you know, she's no different than any other girl, and she's pretty fun. We'll talk about a little bit more about what happens to her after.
My favorite character is Taylor. I love Taylor. So Taylor is your stereotypical Miss Texas, and, you know, she has the handbook that was written for the teen beauty queens, and, you know, she has it recited. So they crash on the island, and what's Taylor's idea? Oh no, we're not making shelters, we're not scavenging, we're not collecting food, we're not doing anything. We are practicing our dance routines. We are going to stay in shape, and when they find us, we are going to be smiling and happy just the way they expect us to be.
Well, then they find out that, you know, nobody's looking for them anymore.
And Taylor goes crazy. So crazy.
Well, okay, it's not all her fault.
Oh, I know, but she loses it. She just leaves them and becomes like this wild woman in the woods, and, you know, she's like scavenging from them and collecting their beauty supplies, and her language degenerates, and like some of them run into her in the woods at one point, and she scares them just because she's crazy. She's crazy. And I guess part of it has to do with her dad. You know, her dad was the military guy, so she knows all this military stuff on top of all of her beauty queen stuff. And, you know, she knows everything about guns and everything about this, and she's in top physical condition because she had like a gymnastics routine for one of her pageant things and a judo routine. So she is just like the ultimate weapon. And so much of the conflict goes between Taylor and Adina, because Taylor becomes the leader at the very beginning, and Adina's really angry about that, because Adina's like, oh, we have to survive, we have to, you know, collect food, we have to make shelters, we have to think in the long term. But of course all the girls follow the glamorous Taylor until Taylor loses it completely.
Other interesting characters, Mary Lou Novak. She's like, you know, touted as like the purity ring girl, the very pure, and then she finally lets loose. There's Nicole, who I really liked. She's the black girl, and Shanti, who was annoying for the first half of the book because she's like, oh look, I can make this Indian stuff like my grandmother taught me, and I'm all integrated and fine with American society, but look at me. It was annoying. It was so annoying. And eventually she stops it thanks to Nicole, and that was amazing. So just all the transformations and all the issues that Libba Bray brings up in this book is just intense. She fits in everything you could possibly think of, and she doesn't do it so that it's too much. She does it so and it just works. And I don't think any author could have pulled it off as well as she did.
I think this is a good book for us to have done right after TTYL, because in TTYL we're focused on all of these horrible issues and morals that the book was showing us, being like how a teenage girl has to act. And this book, it pretty much starts out in that same kind of world where you have to be this perfect creature, and then this book just takes it and
Destroys it.
just like
In the
there's
most fun
nothing
way
left.
Other characters, Ladybird Hope.
Oh, that was like it is such a thinly veiled Sarah Palin reference.
Oh, it is beautiful. It made me laugh, and it made me love the book 1,000 times more than it already did, because, oh my god, just her speech. She starts off at something like we're rescuing the beauty queen. She goes all the way to like the origins of America, and right back to to why we have to fight the Middle East, and it's just like,
I'm gonna find it. I'll read it. I believe we've read it in the review. We read it in the review.
we should have, yeah.
But I'll read it out again, and you can interrupt me if you want to, pick at something specific.
It's
Do you
in
remember
here.
what page it was on?
Yes, somewhere. Alright, you keep talking, I'll find it.
Alright, so Ladybird, the background you get of this woman is that she was a former beauty queen, and now she's trying to run for some government position. And she, during the course of the book, she goes through and she's doing all these interviews about the poor beauty queens, and we're going to look for them, and it's going to be all right, but we're America, so we can da 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 da. And the moment she's introduced that there is something wrong with her, that she's evil. So this is on page 57. Okay,
It's the bottom one.
okay, I'm just trying to get some context.
Basically, she keeps interrupting.
Yeah, she's being in an interview and she's interrupting, and then this is her beautiful, huge rant. No, we said crack is whack, and we made sure everybody could have guns instead of drugs. Back before the British were our friends, they had a mean king who made us pay too much tax instead of just having hot princes who go to nightclubs. They wanted to keep us from bringing freedom to the people of Mexico and making it a state. And George Washington had to chop down a cherry tree and write the Star-Spangled Banner. And that's the reason we fought World War II. And why we keep fighting, because those freedom-hating people out there want to take away our right to be rich and good-looking, and have gated communities and designer sweatpants like the one in my Ladybird Hope Don't Sweat It line. And they want us to learn to speak Muslim and let the lawyers stop us from teaching about Adam and Eve. And that will be the day that every child gets left behind. Our country needs something to believe in, Barry. They need us to be the shining beacon on the hill, and the shining beacon will not have all these complications and tough questions about who we are, because that's hard, and nobody wants to think about when you already have to decide whether you want original recipe or extra crispy, or that little box of squawking at you. And let me tell you something, Barry, that shining beacon will have a talent portion and pretty girls, because if we don't come out and twirl those batons and model or evening gowns and answer questions about geography, then the terrorists have won. Alright, what do you want to say about that?
Just the amount of history that just gets jumbled and mixed up and reinterpreted to suit her purposes is just, oh my god, it hurts.
This is just proof that you can BS your way out of anything.
If you talk fast enough, add in enough references, and
Maybe shake your fist. If I had it memorized and I did the sweeping gestures, that would help too.
Oh, it's a beautiful, beautiful speech, and I love it to death.
So, what about her boyfriend?
Ladybird Hope's boyfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Momo.
Mm-hmm.
Momo is the funniest character. He has a general called General Happy Times.
He's a stuffed animal.
He's a stuffed lemur. It sits on his shoulder. And, oh my god, this man loves Elvis, and I'm pretty sure he's like 5'0" nothing.
Yeah, I got this kind of like impression that he always had like these ridiculously platform shoes on.
Yeah, like blue suede platform shoes, dresses like Elvis, wears like a Elvis wig. Oh my god, and he's got that like, you know, bad English accent, and he's in love with Lady Birdhope. He would do anything for her, but she's really just, you know, messing with him to like
Use him for her outcome.
yeah, because what's happening in this book is the corporation has a product called Lady Stash Off, which if you change a few ingredients makes it super unstable and explosive. So she's selling this altered Stash Off to Momo and his Republic of Cha-Cha in exchange for getting in with the corporation and, you know, setting up shop. Because up until that point he'd been very anti-American and no foreign influences, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about him?
It's described so well that you get such a clear picture when you're reading it. You probably are envisioning exactly what Libba Bray envisioned when she came up with this guy. Because he is just so ridiculous and so fantastically written that you can't help but love him just because he's so ridiculous. And when Lady Bird screws him and like just chucks him to the side and, you know, like, oh yeah, I was just using you for everything and I don't actually like you. You feel for the guy.
He has had his heart broken. He was actually like, this woman likes me.
He had, you know, the wedding planned, and, you know, he was
planning a sitcom for them.
Yep, and his life was going to be perfect as soon as Lady Bird said yes, and they married, and happily ever after, and...
Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh, yeah. So, pirates. There were pirates. There are always pirates.
I mean, you wouldn't think they'd managed to put pirates in there, but she managed pirates.
St. John.
St. John was pretty awesome.
St. John.
He sails them to the island accidentally. They crash land, of course. And so he brings his crew on shore, and, you know, he seems like, you know, the typical pretty boy, you know, likes women fawning over him, you know, serving him, that kind of thing. And then you get into his character when he meets Petra.
And he falls madly in love with Petra. And it's adorable.
And, like, you know, she tells him who she was before, and he's like, it's okay, I'm good.
And I love how when the pirates run off because they're gonna try and get help, and for some reason they decide not to tell the beauty queens about it. I don't remember the reasoning behind it, and Petra's all upset because, you know, she actually thought that St. John liked her, and, you know, this was a big thing for her. And then finally, at the end of her rant, she's like, and he stole my platform shoes.
So he's walking around ship, giving orders, wearing her good platform shoes.
It was just like, it's amazing. I love him. But, okay, so pirates. So in Adina, she was always going on about how, you know, she doesn't have time for boys. And she meets one of the pirates, and they get along really well. And so takes her back to his place, and a little something happens. And she finds out that, he recorded it and was going to use it for the TV show that he was on. So, where was I going with this? Oh, okay. So when the pirates come back and, you know, he's like, you know, I want to be a better person, and, you know what, take me back, and I'm sorry for what I did, and she says no.
That was beautiful. I was so proud.
That never happens.
I was like, thank you.
I thought that she was actually going to do it, you know.
But she says no, and it was good. And she had some really good, solid reasons for saying no, and it was beautiful.
I guess it's her character coming full circle, though, because, you know, she comes in being the most hard-headed, strong-willed character in the book with these ideas, and she just needed a little bit of softening up, but at the same time...
Well, she softened up, and then came back strong again reaffirmed in a new
way.
Yeah, and it was good. It was a great character change, and it was very good. The ending was good. There was a lot of explosions, a lot of Taylor being crazy. There was drama.
You know who we haven't talked about?
Who?
That poor agent who always gets just shoveled over to the side. That poor bastard. Do you think that smart kid's supposed to be a Jesse Eisenberg Facebook guy reference? What's his actual name? The actor's name is Jesse Eisenberg?
I think so.
Yeah. What's the creator of Facebook's name? I'm totally blanking right
Mark
now.
Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg, thank you. Because there's
You got that.
I got that vibe almost from the same kind of character from The Social Network.
I did not get that.
Really?
That's your interview.
That's what I got. The whole Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Zuckerberg, kind of like this douchey.
I just loved all his Bush references. Those made me laugh a lot.
So you got this poor agent who's just, the world is changing around him and he just can't hang on to it. And I think at one point he decides to go with the change by getting a different kind of coffee and then just no.
Yeah. He keeps trying to do his job and the kid keeps, being like, you're doing it wrong and just being annoying and unhelpful and
I think he retires at the end of the book.
Yeah, thankfully.
It's just a nice compliment to the other characters, I guess. I loved him so much.
He was cute.
Okay. What were you saying before I interrupted you?
I don't even remember. The ending.
The ending. Right.
It was good. It was really good. And it was just a good ending for the book. What do you think?
Yeah. I liked how they gave information about all of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
What they've moved on to. It kind of fit with the theme. The book has commercial breaks and, the whole giving, the character's future kind of reminds me of, the old high school movies where, it's always the party at the end and then it freeze frames on each character and the text comes up and says, is now doing this with their life.
Yeah. It was good. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else to add to this?
I think I am pretty set. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No.
All right.
It was a good book, and it should be read by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, girls, everyone. It is just entertaining. It is hilarious. It is smart. It is amazing.
Agreed.
All right.
Just don't read it on a plane.